Okay, Danny, you've joined just in time. Okay, so we're going to dive into the lineup and the prediction for this weekend. So, Man United versus Tottenham Hotspur being played at Old Trafford. Early kickoff, Saturday at 12:30. We had word yesterday about the injury updates. So we know that Mickey van der Ven and Romero are back in the squad. I was presuming, because we didn't hear much about Odegaard, and we know that Odegaard came on injured. Oh, sorry, he came on ill at the end of the City game. There's been like an illness that's being ravaged through the squad right now. So I'm presuming that Odegaard is also going to be a player that is available. The other thing that we heard, so we know Richie's out, we know Kuda's long-term injury, we know Bentancur's long-term injury, Bergvall, Maddison and Kudu, we don't even need to mention them, Davis and Porro. So, talking about the lineup, who would you guys want to see in the lineup? Who do you guys want to see in the lineup? Do you think we're going to change formation? Do you think we're going to go the same formation as City? So obviously for the City game, we had a very lopsided squad because we basically had no one on the right-hand side. We had no right back. We had Archie Gray, of course, but he's not really a right back, is he? I mean, he started his career there, but he looks much better as a midfielder, in my opinion. So we had no right wing and we had no right back in that Man City game. So I'm hoping that he is going to change that right-hand side. I think that Vicario is going to be in goal, of course. I think he's going to stick with the 3-4. I'd say 3-4-3, but I think it's going to be like a 3-4-2-1 potentially formation. Some of you saying we'd do well against United. Yeah, I think he's going to stick with the three at the back. Okay, there's 222 votes on how are you feeling ahead of the Man United game. Most of you have said hopeful but wary. Some of you are saying expecting chaos, I'm emotionally detached. Less of you are quietly confident. So I think that tells us the tone of the room. But I would say he's going to go with the three at the back. Now, the question is that we know Danso is out. So when we've played three at the back so far this season, it's been Romero, Van der Ven, and Danso. So given that Danso is out, the question then becomes, do you put in Dragusin or do you play Paulinho? Now, I thought Paulinho had a very good game last game. I thought Paulinho was excellent. I thought Dragusin, his first half performance against City, was not very good. He looked very, very rusty in the first half. His communication at the back wasn't very good. And I think in the second half, when Romero went off, Dragusin played better. So I don't know whether that's a partnership thing, whether Dragusin and Romero don't really gel, because I think Danso is the versatile player that can play with Romero or Van der Ven. Danso can kind of play with both. And I know people weren't giving Danso credit. I dropped my pen, which has gone under the table. But I know people were giving weren't giving Danso a lot of credit. But I think Danso is better than Romero because he's more experienced. Don't forget, Dragusin is still a young player. How old is Dragusin? I think Dragusin's only like 23, maybe 24. So he's still a young player. No, the pen's gone. Yeah, okay. So I can see the comments. You guys are agreeing with me. Dragusin needs he needs game time. He needs minutes. He's very rusty. He hasn't played a full game. That last game is the last full game he's played for almost like 9 months or something. So, hi Niall, welcome in. We're just doing the lineup. So, I guess the question is, do you play a back line of Van der Ven, Romero, Paulinho, or do you play the back line of Van der Ven, Romero, Dragusin? I like Paulinho. I think he's better than Dragusin. But because Dragusin is a centre-back, I think he's going to go with Dragusin. And I think he's going to use Paulinho as sub. This is what I think. What do you guys think to that in the back line? Okay, some of you are saying 4-4-2. Interesting. Some of you are saying 4-4-2. I'm going to stick with my 3-4-2-1, and I'll tell you why. The other option, of course, if you do four at the back, the other option is, yes, you can play maybe Paulinho on that right back, and then you have a doggy in the left back. But because we have some of you are saying Spence might be right back. I don't know if Spence is fit. If Spence is fit, I agree. I think we play four at the back, and I think it's Spence, Van der Ven, Romero, and Udogie, because that for sure is our best back four. But given that Spence is 50-50, I'm going to say we go with the back three. And the reason for that is because then you have a midfield four of Gray, Gallagher, potentially Sarr, and Udogie. I don't think he plays Bissouma again. I don't think we're going to see Bissouma again for a long time, if I'm completely honest. I don't think we're going to see Bissouma for a long time. What do you guys think? I'd personally go have Paulinho in the front of the back line. I don't know. I've just got a feeling he's going to play Gallagher. I think Gallagher had a great game last game. Look, they both had a great game. In the second, hold on a minute. Second half of the City game, both Paulinho and Gallagher had a very good game. I think Gallagher is a player that needs consistent minutes so that we see the best out of him. And because we've had this week gap, I kind of think he's going to play Gallagher. Do you guys think he's going to play Paulinho? I think he's going to play Gallagher. I think he's going to go Gallagher with Gray on the right, Sarr, and then Udogie. The other option you have, the only other option is Paulinho, given our injuries. So you either play Gallagher and Sarr or Paulinho and Sarr. If you did, the other option you have is you do a four at the back, and then you do Gray, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, and then you have Paulinho. You have Paulinho and Sarr. You drop Gallagher, and then you bring Tell in on the left. So you'd have Tell, Simmons, and Odegaard. The problem is, Tell and Mawani, if you play three in the front of the midfield as your attackers, so if you did Odegaard on the right, Simmons in the middle, and Tell or Mawani on the left and Solanke up top, I think that works. But I just don't think that Mawani or Tell brings enough to the squad. I think Sarr and Gallagher bring a lot more energy than when you have Tell or Mawani on the left. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, I can see someone said, yeah, we need Gallagher and Sarr for energy. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think Sarr lifts the tempo of the squad, and I think we saw that against Man City. And I think Gallagher, when he makes those runs on the right, he can be the guy who crosses the ball in. And without Porro doing that, I think you need Gallagher. So I'm going on the basis that I think Spence is not going to start this game. That's what I'm basing this on. I don't think Spence starts this game. Potentially he comes on at half time. But assuming he doesn't, I think we go with the three at the back. I think he goes Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, and then I think he goes Gray, because you have no one else but Gray on that right-hand side, Gallagher and Sarr. If you were to take one of those out, I would probably take out maybe Sarr for Tell and then just have a 4-2-3-1. But even though that sounds more attacking, I don't think that style fits the personnel of the squad. What do you guys think to that? Does that make sense? Sorry, I can't get up a visual here. What do you guys think to that? 1 second. What do you guys think to that? Yeah, okay, so a few of you are saying, I think he'll probably drop Mawani. Mawani is being a flip-flopper. He doesn't want to be at Spurs. Mawani just isn't suited to the Prem. I hate to say. Yeah, I kind of think the same, which is why he's not going to do a 4-2-3-1. I don't think he can do a 4-2-3-1. The only other option is he does a 4-3-3, but that's, I don't know if I like that. I think I'd rather see a 3-4-2-1 because then you have more attackers in the midfield. The other option, I'm just thinking, the other option is you drop Gallagher for Paulinho, and then Paulinho can drop back to make a back four. So then you'd have Paulinho, right wing, Romero, Van der Ven, and Udogie. But I don't like that. Oh, someone's just said in the chat 3-4-2-1 with Paulinho at right centre back instead of Dragusin. That's funny. After I just said, I don't know if I like that. I don't know. The thing is with our right back is when Spence or Porro plays, they're creative players. I don't know if Paulinho is creative enough to play that right back. That's why I think Gray is still better than Paulinho in that position. Paulinho is fantastic at making challenges and preventing the opposition progressing the ball. That is what Paulinho's strength is. His strength is literally going into challenges and dispossessing the opponent. Whether he plays well as a right back, I don't know if that suits his game. I don't think that suits his game. Yeah, I think we're in agreement. Yeah, having Gray at right wing back is horrid. I do agree with that. But the question is, who do you have? Paulinho is controlled. I trust him across the back line, but I'd have Gray. See, this is the challenge that Frank has. And whatever he chooses, people are always going to hate on the decision, right? People are always going to hate on the decision. They're going to be like, no, you should have played Paulinho. If it works out, it'll be like, oh, he's played the right players. If it doesn't work out, it'll be like, oh, why did you start Gray? You should have started Paulinho. Either scenario is not ideal. The ideal scenario is that you play Porro or you play Spence, but I'm going on the basis that I think Spence is injured. Thanks so much. Big up to you and your channel, High on Football. Big up to your channel. I haven't seen it, but big up to you. Gray has the minutes there. He's more versatile to fit in. Paulinho would be too out of position there. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the three at the back. I have a bad feeling Man United will beat Spurs. We appreciate the honest opinion. Better to be a realist. Yeah, okay. So I think let's go with that. Dragusin, Romero. Oh, actually, some of you were saying Paulinho. I'm going to go. I don't like it. I don't like any of these options, if I'm completely honest. But I'm going to go with Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, Gray, Gallagher, Sarr, Udogie. I think potentially Paulinho could be swapped in for Dragusin. Oh, it's so annoying. Danso's injured, isn't it? And I think the other option, if Spence is fit, he goes with Spence right back and Udogie left back, and then moves over midfield of Gray, Gallagher, Sarr. And I think our front two are going to be Odegaard and Simmons. I think Odegaard has been fantastic. Bar the City game. Look, even in the City game, Donnarumma made some fantastic saves. I mean, that game could have been 4-2. So I'm really excited. I'm so excited to see the Simmons, Odegaard, Solanke partnership. After seeing that little flick of the first goal that Solanke scored last week was so underrated. The outside flick the flick on the outside of Simmons' boot. That was class. That was pure class. And you know what? If Simmons is quietly cooking and no one's expecting it, we can come up and sneak behind them because no one is expecting us to win this game. No one is expecting us to win this game. Everyone thinks we're dross, and we are. And that's exactly why we need to win the game. And this is where your mindset precedes you, because you have to go into that game knowing that you've beaten United for the last 3 seasons. And it doesn't matter who their manager is or their caretaker manager is. You beat them in the Europa Cup. And so if they go in with that winning mindset, we will win. The challenge is do we have the confidence in the tactics and the performance levels to make that happen. We know that we're better away. So I think that works out in our favor, to be completely honest. So what do we think of that predicted lineup? Do we like it? Do we hate it? Do you have your own opinions? I've seen some of you have put your own. So some people have said Vicario, Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, Spence, Paulinho, Gallagher, Udogie, Odeberg, Xavi, Solanke. Udogie and Spence make a back five when defending. Romero free to go. Yeah, Romero to be our striker. Look, I think this whole thing about Romero turning into our striker is a bit misleading, because he's not scoring open play goals. He's scoring goals from set pieces. The assist he got a couple of games ago came from a Xavi free kick. So it wasn't from open play, but it also wasn't from the free kick, because it came out and went back in again. But I mean, it basically was a set piece. You know, basically was same as the corners. The corners are set pieces. So he's coming out of position, but he should also be going back to defend his lines after those plays, after those set pieces. Gray plays well in any position he's been put in. I agree with that, but I think he plays better in certain positions. I think the midfield suits Gray better. He plays best in the midfield. He can be a right back, but I just think he's better. You know what it is? He's not fast enough. He doesn't have the legs. His awareness of the pitch is so good. Like, he makes some really good, like balls to open up the pitch. I think we saw that more last year than we have this year, because he's been playing a bit more of a defensive role. But I don't think he's fast enough on the wing. I mean, last game he was being beaten like the whole game. So I think he's good. But this is what I was saying. He's good at lots of things, but he's a master of none. What's the phrase? I can't remember what the phrase is. The injuries are excessive. They need to do an investigation. Yes. I feel like we could use the energy Carrick has injected into Man U. It's going to be like playing against an alternate future where we actually sack Frank. I can't wait for this game. See, the funny thing about Spurs is we show up in big games. It's crazy. This is what I was saying when we are Tottenham TV. I mean, we're likely to take points from this game and lose against Fulham. That's just Tottenham. That's exactly who Tottenham are. That's what we do. My team: Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, Dragusin, Udogie, Spence, Paulinho, Gallagher, Sarr, Xavi, Solanke. Interesting that a lot of you have put Paulinho in the squad. So who have you taken out? I think you've got one too many players. Is that right? I think you've got one too many players. You can't have all those players in the squad. You need to take one out. Who are you taking out? That's what we're debating. Who would you take out? You can't have. I don't think that works. Yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice someone, Jimmy. Sorry. Can't believe we have so much negativity on Vicario. He made a great save and was not to blame for the first goal. We need to get off his back. He saved us loads of times. Yes. William. Yes, but also no. Vicario's good. He's not good enough. He's good, but he's not good enough. He's good enough for this season. He's good enough to get us to maybe like 8th. He was good enough to get us to 5th. One game a week. Is he good enough to have the concentration to do that in back-to-back games? I'm not convinced. His shot stopping is fantastic. His distribution is terrible. His distribution is so bad, and it costs us a lot in games because he plays the ball out, or he does a long ball, completely misses, and then it comes back to us. And that's why Van der Ven tends to take our long shots from the back, because Vicario's not a very good distributor of the ball. And I think in the Premier League, if you're going to play that way, you need a keeper that can do that. And Vicario's good, but he's not good enough. And equally, he's not a keeper who's going to sit on the bench. He wants first team football. And so you're not going to keep him as a second keeper, unfortunately. He's fighting to get into the Italy squad. So I don't think he's a player that sits on the bench for us. I think he either plays first team football or he goes, and I think we can upgrade him. But I do agree. I think he's good, and I think he's good enough for the now. But I don't think he's like a long-term solution for us. Vicario, that's my opinion, by the way, my opinion. Vicario, Paulinho, Romero, Van de Ven, Gray, Sarr, Gallagher, Udogie, Xavi, Tel, Solanke. This is interesting. So no one is putting in Tel or Moani. No one is putting a left winger into this. No one is saying that we're going to have Moani and Tel in the squad. Oh, no, wait, hold on. You've named Tel. Hang on. This is also too many, no? So you're taking out Dragusin and playing Paulinho. This is interesting that a lot of you are favouring Paulinho in the back line, and he's not even a defender. He's not even a defender. What does that say about Dragusin? What does that say about Dragusin if you're going to play a midfielder in your back line? I think Dragusin did a lot better in the second half of that game. I think he just needs to work on his partnership with Romero, and that comes with experience. That comes with experience. But you've done a midfield of Gray, Gallagher, Sarr, Xavi, Udogie. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much similar. So same formation. So what do we think? Haha. The score's going to be. Score predictions. I think the most important thing tomorrow is mentality. The United players are probably super motivated to beat us since we humiliated them. Yeah, so I was watching Alice Talks Football. I was watching Alice Talks Football last night, and they're nervous. They're nervous. The United fans are nervous. This is not a given game for them. This is absolutely not a given game for United. They're not convinced that they're going to win. They're on a bounce and they're on the up, but this is a tough game for them. We are their Achilles heel in the same way that we're City's Achilles heel. Like out of Newcastle and Arsenal, I'd say this game is the one where we have the best chance of taking points because of the mindset behind it, because of that mentality. I agree. We don't exactly have the luxury of too much choice with the players we have fit. It'll be interesting to see if Sousa, that's a good point. I only think Sousa comes on. I think Sousa comes on if you're 3-0 up. If you're 3-0 up and the game's seen out, Sousa comes on. But the reason why we haven't seen Sousa is because we haven't been in that position. And that's because we start games sluggishly. We start games on the back foot. And we need to take it to United tomorrow. We need to take it to them. If we can do what we did against Frankfurt, and we can literally just like in the first 10 minutes, come out blazing and be like, yeah, on the front foot and score in the first couple of minutes, a bit like Brentford did a couple of seasons ago. Does anyone remember? Like a couple of seasons ago, Brentford had like a run of like 3 games where they came out and scored goals in the first 2 minutes. If we can do something like that, if we can start the game on the front foot, it's something that we've been lacking so much this season. It's so frustrating to watch the first half of games where we just don't bring it to the opposition. If we can start like that, we definitely have a better chance of winning. It's just getting the players up for the fight. And I think Xavi is getting more confident. And I think having him with Solanke, we're going to see a whole different Tottenham Hotspur. If those two can kick on and they can create a partnership, you will see a whole different Spurs, because you can't compare a front three of Sartel and Moani to Xavi, Odegaard and Solanke where they are right now. And I think this is what fans are forgetting. The personnel is changing. And so we do have better players in our squad right now than we did last year. We do. I mean, if I tell you guys, the last game that we played United was the 2-2 draw in November. Our lineup for that game, Our lineup for the United game on the 8th of November was Johnson on the right, Simmons in the middle, Ritchie on the left, and Mawani up top. So, and then we had Paulinho and Sarr midfield. So would you rather having an Odegaard and Simmons and Solanke at this point in the season? For me personally, I 100% would. I think that works better. I think that works better for us. But then I think United are going to change formation as well, because they've Carrick's come in and he's going to be doing a few things. So what are you guys saying about predictions? What are you guys saying about predictions? I've lost the chat. Where are we? Oh my God, there's so many messages. I love these messages. Long term, maybe not, but let's support him now. That was in reference to Vicario. So yes. 2-1. Spurs win tomorrow. Up the Spurs. That's confident, Paul. That's confident, Paul. Any relation to Michael Dawson? Yeah, the last three are subs. Let's get Sarah to 100 likes. That's the target before she goes off air. Yes, like the channel. I didn't even say that. I don't even know how many likes I've got because I'm using this dodgy software. Dragusin is much more focused on defending his area only. The thing with Dragusin is we haven't seen enough of him. And I think it's unfair to judge Dragusin on last game alone, because he was playing with an unfit Romero, and then for the second half of the game, he was playing with Paulinho, who's not a centre-back. Last year, Dragusin, before he got injured, he was playing with Archie Gray and Ben Davis. Like, he's never been given a fair shot. Because don't forget, the only reason why Dragusin came in was because Van de Ven and Romero were out at the same time. So you've got Dragusin and Danso, who are both panic buys. I think Dragusin can become good. It's just he needs the regular match minutes, and he's not gonna get that. He is a player for our bench. He's a squad player for us. Dragusin is a squad player, but obviously we need to get him back up to speed. Yeah, exactly. I agree with this as well. Some of you are saying Vicario, Gray, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, Paulinho, Gallagher, Javitel, Solanke, Odegaard. So you've taken out Sarr for Paulinho. Interesting. I'd go with that as well. Because you can push Gallagher up. And from what he showed us last game, he does have a little bit in him to be quite attacking. So if he can be the guy to put in those crosses in replacement of Porro, I think that's what we need, because it's what we're going to be lacking, I think. Oh, Jimmy, don't do this to me. 3-1 United. No. Oh, you're not wrong, but that's not what I want. 2-1 Spurs and Wemo 1-0 half time. We come back second half. Odegaard and Solanke. Tottenham 3, United 2. Romero to score the winner and kiss the badge in front of fans. That could be possible. Like, I wouldn't give it a miss. Do United concede a lot of corners though? Do United concede a lot of corners? I don't know. So United concede 1.5 goals per game. They're one of the lowest. United concede more goals than us. What did I miss? Oh, Systemic Frog. I did a whole rundown of your comment in the video about the transformational question that you had. So you can watch this back on replay. I'll upload it again after, but you can watch it back because we had a big discussion about transformation and setting business goals and all of that stuff. I think they are favourites to win, but if we take the game to them, we might nick it. I think this is going to be a very even game. United do not keep clean sheets. We are better at keeping clean sheets than them. Look, I know they're on a manager bounce, but Look, the majority of people think United's going to win. Let's be honest. United fans think they're going to win. 3-2 Spurs, 3-1. There you go. Like, a lot of people are optimistic. First half. We have seen this too many times before. But recently, 3-1 United. I can't see us scoring 3 goals. We always beat United. We are their bogey team. It's going to be 2-1 to Tottenham. Welcome, Sarah, to the YouTube community. Welcome to you guys. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the Spurs from the Stands community. Okay, so before I give you my prediction, just to say, tomorrow I am at my niece's 3-year-old. My 3-year-old niece's birthday party. So very selfishly, she decided to have her birthday party at the same time that Spurs are playing United. So unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a video tomorrow. I'm going to try and maybe do it after her little party, but let's see how we get on. I think, oh man, I can't predict this game, you know. I can't predict this game. Oh, happy birthday, Hallie. It's her birthday today. She's 3 today. I don't think she knows what football is yet, but we'll have to get her before my Chelsea supporting brother-in-law does. 3-2 to Man U. No. We are Arsenal. Who's Arsenal, Roy? Who's Arsenal? No question this team has improved. Keep stepping forward. Yeah, I think what people are missing. Okay. I think my heart thinks we're going to win, because my heart says the mentality of the squad, Romero will ride or die by winning this game. This is the type of game where Romero is a bull in a china shop. Him and Van de Ven at the back, they are going to be solid. And if we've got 3 at the back and Dragusin does a good job, I think that could be a winning combo. My head says United are fighting for this win. They are on a manager bounce. They are fighting for top 4. I think they're in the running for top 4, right? United, how many points off are they? They're in the top 4. Okay. United are 5 points off Villa, who are 3rd. United are 5 points off Villa, and Chelsea are 1 point off them. So United have a lot to play for in this game. This is huge for United, because this could turn their whole season around. But likewise, it could turn our whole season around. The more I'm talking about it, the more I think it's going to be a draw. And it could be like a 2-2 draw. I don't want another 2-2 draw. We had a 2-2 draw against Burnley. We had a 2-2 draw against City. We had a 2-1 loss against West Ham. For our last 3 games in the Premier League, we've conceded 2 goals. Bournemouth, we conceded 3 goals. We haven't had less than 2 goals conceded since Sunderland, which was on the 4th of January, which is really, really concerning. I think we are going to concede, guys. I think we are going to concede. I think it's going to be higher than a 1-1. I think, October 2022, the last time United beat us. However, we haven't lost against them, but we don't always win. So I am going... Oh my God. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. I think this is going to be a 2-2 draw. I'd love to say that we win 2-1. But it's more likely if it's a 1-1, then it will end up, we'll be giving up the lead. But I'm going to go 2-2. I think we are going to have a goal from open play. I think Solanke is going to score. Solanke is on freaking fire. If Solanke can score tomorrow, his name on the England team sheet is getting very, very close. If he can stay fit, he is desperate to get into that England squad. And if he can set himself up on a run, I think Solanke can still score 10 more goals this season. I think Solanke has it in him to score 10 more goals. I've seen a lot of interviews with him. There was an interview. Was there any? I put something in the Player Pods playlist. He had another interview the other day, and I was listening. They were talking about the Scorpion goal, and I think even he surprised himself. And he said he was so excited to play with Xavi. He said in the interview, he said, I'm so excited to play with Xavi. And people are forgetting, Xavi and Solanke have not played together. They haven't played together. So this is like a brand new combination. This is literally like a whole new team sheet when you have Xavi and Solanke. And also if you have Odegaard up there as well, Odegaard's becoming a player in his own right. Odegaard, wow, like if he can really connect with Solanke and those three up top, I think this is going to be a magic of a game. But I am weary. I'm weary of Fernandes. I'm weary of Cunha. Cunha on their left wing. This is the problem. If you've got Cunha on their left wing, is Archie Gray strong enough as a right back? Cunha versus Archie Gray in a duel. I would pick Spence all day long because Spence is fantastic on one-on-one duels. And that is why you need Spence in this squad. But assuming he's not fit enough, I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. But look, if all you've got is Gray, the only other option you have is you play Paulinho there. But Archie Gray and Dragusin, it doesn't make me confident. But look, Cunha is their biggest threat, I think. I think Cunha is their biggest threat. Fernandes is a good player as well. What do you guys think? Yeah, spot on with Solanke. If he gets the service, he'll score. That's the thing. Dom's been ice cold lately. Yes, he scored 3 and 3? Solanke? Is it 3 and 3? Well, he scored 4 and 4. Solanke scored 4 and 4. He didn't score against Burnley, but he scored 4 and 4. He scored 4 goals, 2 against Man City, 1 against Frankfurt, 1 against Dortmund since he's come back. So, if there's any guy that's going to score, Mbeumo as well. Don't know. What do you guys reckon? I'm just looking. Yeah, I mean, considering you've got Fernandes, Fernandes has scored 12 assists this season. He's on fire. So maybe you do need a Paulinho there. It's making me think maybe you do need a Paulinho there. I don't know. I've gone with my lineup, but I'm starting to doubt it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay. Lee, you have literally just read my thoughts because I've just thought the same thing. I was thinking maybe Sarr would start, but after just thinking about the United setup and the fact that Fernandes has got so many assists and Mbeumo has scored so much, I just think that maybe Gallagher and Paulinho is a bit of a better lineup. Just I'm talking as I'm processing this. We'll give United a good game tomorrow, but we might not be good enough. Hi, Elaine. Fellow Yedette. I'm making an assumption there, so please don't get offended. His ability to link up play, create chances, and deliver in crucial moments. Solanke's development reflects his dedication and class. Solanke, for me, is massively underrated. He's massively underrated, but he's never been fit. He hasn't had a run. He said it himself in the interview. Guys, please do like, subscribe, like the stream. Subscribe, all of that jazz. Join the COYS collective community. Dragusin will improve with fitness. Yeah, he's not sharp enough yet. He's not sharp enough. He needs a couple of games under his belt to get confident, and he is a bit rusty. And Sarr is the same, by the way. Sarr is also in that bracket. Sarr needs to get regular match minutes. So obviously now this is the problem. On the flip side, you don't have as many games. So maybe you keep some of them for Tuesday night, and maybe you keep, it's a good point because we are playing Tuesday night. So maybe you do keep Sarr and Dragusin for Tuesday night and you play Palhinha and Gallagher. I think you play one on each game. I think maybe you play Gallagher on Saturday and you play Palhinha on Tuesday, but I don't know. I reckon Xavi will be key tomorrow. United will be up for it. We'll give plenty of chances to counter, some delightful balls by Xavi to set Odegaard away on the flanks. Do you know what, guys? Yesterday, Xavi cracks me up so much. Xavi cracks me up so much. He posted yesterday on TikTok, and it was just like a little. Xavi is huge. Xavi is massive, like in terms of like his following and stuff. So people are saying, mate, we're 14th professional footballer. Come back to Barcelona. What do we think of Tottenham? Xavi, mate, please, we're 14th. We're in a relegation battle. Xavi, we haven't won a league game in over a month. Please help us. So, Xavi, you are carrying Spurs right now. Please score on Saturday. You're the GOAT. Xavi, mate, we're 14th. Everyone's saying, mate, we're 14th. So, look, Xavi does need to step up tomorrow. I really want him to score. If it can be, if Solanke can help Xavi get a goal, I will be so here for that. Connor mapping up in their territory. Palhinha, Gallagher. So most of you think Gallagher and Palhinha are going to start. I think it's going to be one or the other, but we'll see tomorrow. United panic in the box when clearing from 30 yards. Yeah, United concede goals. And this is what I'm saying. I think the bounce that they've had, United, they conceded 2 against Fulham. And okay, they conceded 2 against Arsenal. That's expected. But they did concede 2 against Fulham. I know they won, but they still conceded. The difference was they had the mindset to get it over the line. They had the conviction and the fans behind them because that game was at home. So their fans are pushing with that momentum. And that's why I'm not sure if we have the mindset to go over this. And that's why the mindset is going to be really, really important in this game. Issue is how long Solanke can be fit for. I agree with that. And this is the thing, because we've got Newcastle on Tuesday. Spence and Palhinha should be able to handle Cunha. Yeah. And Buemo is their biggest threat. Yeah, so maybe you do put Palhinha instead of Dragusin in this game. Cool. All right, guys, it's 5:10. Oh my gosh, it's Friday evening. What's everyone doing tonight? Is everyone excited for the game? I am excited and also nervous. Obviously, tonight there is Leeds versus Nottingham Forest, which is quite a big game, because if either of those teams win the game, they will go level on points with Spurs. They will not go ahead of us because both Nottingham Forest and Leeds have a goal difference of -11. But if there is a winner to that game, they will go level with points with Spurs. So the best outcome that we can expect from a Leeds versus Nottingham Forest is probably a draw. As with some of the other games this weekend, just to take a little browse over that, you've got Newcastle are playing Brentford. So look, if Brentford beat Newcastle, we go 1 point off Newcastle. So it's so tight, guys. It's crazy. You know, you've got Fulham playing Everton this weekend. Fulham are playing Everton. That's 9th. So 9th and 10th are playing each other. They're both on the same point. So someone's got to drop points there, or both teams have to drop points. So the table is still very, very tight. Like if we want to pick up points, now's the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. Someone's having Chinese tonight. You're having Chinese tonight. I'm not having casserole. I'm having enchiladas. No casserole, got enchiladas. Let's hope the boys are up for it from the start. I hate the 12:30 kickoff. I agree with that. Going up to United, 12:30 kickoff is horrible. And it is absolutely pissing at cats and dogs here. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here, just outside London, it is absolutely pouring with rain. It has not stopped raining for the entire month of January. It's been so depressing, honestly. So, yeah, I imagine it's going to be a wet, rainy, early kickoff. It's going to be grey and miserable. But this is the big game of the weekend. Odegaard getting a little better every game. Do you think he'll become a top player or fall short? Yeah, I think he's got potential. I think he's got potential to be a top player, honestly. The thing is, all of these players can have a high ceiling. They're all young enough. You know, Gallagher is a player in his prime. Maddison is a player in his prime. Paulinho is a player in his prime. They're probably not going to get too much better than what they are now. But for players like Odegaard, Tel, Xavi, Sarr, Dragusin, even Udogie, they are young players. They're in their early 20s and their ceiling, they probably haven't hit their ceiling yet. So I think Odegaard has room for growth. It's using him in the right way. And the challenge is when you bring Kudus back into the squad, can you keep developing Odegaard? Because you get the squad rotation and the depth of squad, but then the question then becomes, who do you start? And for me, at the moment, personally, Odegaard is playing better right now over the past 3 games than Kudus has. What do you guys think to that take? Hot take. Odegaard is better than Kudus. Hot take. We're hoping for a draw. I'm not hoping for a draw. Obviously, I'm hoping for a win. I'm hoping for like a 3-2 win. I just think that with the manager bounce or the caretaker bounce and it being away at United, I think their fans are going to be up for this and they want to secure top 4. They want to secure top 4. Do we have the passion to drive up the table as much as they have their passion to get to top 4? And I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Goalless draw. Poster, a goalless draw. I'm more excited for the Winter Olympics. No, come on, guys. Come on. First of all, it's not going to be a goalless draw. This is not This is not the Tottenham of Champions League. As I just said, we've conceded 2 or more goals in our last 4 games. So unless we rectified that in training over the last week, I think the other thing is we know that Frank has been typically better when he has a week between games. And we've had a week between games. So maybe this is going to work to our advantage. I've been saying this. Frank is not to blame. Bro has not even seen Solanke, Kulu, Kudus and Maddison play together. Imagine only Solanke is back and fans are changing their tune about Frank. Exactly, Yosef. Who will win the league? Don't ask me that. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. We just need to beat them. Not going to happen, but we need to beat them. Someone's having curry. Oh, we've got a lot of takeaways tonight. To be fair, Sarah, our time to pick up points was in December and January. It's never too late to pick up points. The season is not over. It is never too late. It's only too late if you think it's too late. And if you go into games with that mindset, then you are going to lose games. You have to think that you're going into every game to win it. You take it game by game. And if we can take something from this game, then we can get momentum and take something from Newcastle because that game is at home. So I'm interested to see what that game's got in store for us as well. New manager bounce, I'm convinced is a thing at United we can take advantage of. We can do it. Interesting, Terry. So you think that maybe the manager bounce is actually something we can take advantage of? That could be true. And look, question, is the United Strand going to be cutting his hair? Is the United Strand going to be cutting his hair? And do you know what? So everyone's aware of the United Strand, right? Frank, the guy who's not cutting his hair until United win 5 games in a row. We're all familiar with Frank, right? He's got almost 1 million followers on Instagram. So I actually had a look back, and the last time United won 5 games in a row was in 2022. Last time United won 5 games in a row was 2022. That's 4 years ago. They have just won 3 games on the bounce. This is their 4th game. So if anything, this is their game that they might lose because they've got, is it Fulham next game? Or have they got West Ham next game? They've got West Ham next game. They've got, after us, they've got West Ham, Everton, Palace. So this for them is probably the hardest game that they've got in that run, which gives me some optimism. 4 years, they haven't won 5 games in a row. And this is their 4th. Is the United Strand going to cut his hair? I don't think so. What's your go-to snack at the game? An apple. An apple. You sometimes see me there in the matchday vlog. I realised I was eating my apple last time. We need Gallagher and Palhinha to start to lock up midfield. Fernandes is dangerous when given space, and he is their best creator. Yeah, and I also think that Carrick's getting the best out of Fernandes as well. Amorim did not get the best out of Fernandes. He is loving life right now, Fernandes. He is loving life. Kudus looks like a more natural right-sided midfielder than a winger, in my opinion. It's weird, possible, true. He's really good at protecting the ball, Kudus. He's really good at protecting the ball. But his ability to create opportunities, get good crosses into the box, scoring, I think Odegaard is slightly better, I think. Tomorrow depends on our players. If they can motivate themselves, we should be good. A positive Spurs fan. Yeah, I know. I'm used to it, Scrappy. I'm used to it. I've been like this all my life. I know who Spurs are. I know who we are. We're champions of Europe. We beat United. We beat United, did we not? Did we not beat United in the final? But yeah, look, it's the hope that kills us, and we play better against big teams. We play better against big teams. We just do. That's just the Spurs way. I can't tell you why, but it's just in our culture. It's in our club. We're just like that. We need 4 out of 9 points in the next 3. Won't get it. So, Scrappy, you were just saying we're positive. Not everyone's positive. I honestly think it's Kuti and Van der Ven last year at Spurs. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. This is only one true team in North London. It's never too late. It's not too late, guys. The season's not over. The season is not over. You still have games to play, you know. We haven't finished 14th just yet. I think we can finish around 10th, realistically. I think we can finish around 10th. I think any more than that is very, very ambitious and potentially a bit delusional. But realistically, we're 5 points off 10th. You're 5 points off 10th. Fulham and Everton are playing each other. Newcastle and Brentford are playing each other. I mean, Liverpool and Man City are playing each other this weekend. Brighton are playing Crystal Palace. So you've got to think about the teams above us and who's playing who, you know, like there's so many parts to it. It's not just how Spurs do, it's how other teams do as well. And there's been a lot of draws this season, and that's why we're seeing this compact league, and it's never been this close before. Last time United beat Spurs, 2022. Is that the last time? Last time they beat us, yeah, 19th of October, 2022. That looks like the last time they beat us. When they were under Ten Hag and we were under Conte. This just shows you. This is the last time United beat us, 2022. We had, listen to this squad, guys. Listen to this squad. Listen to this squad from 2022. We had Lloris in goal. We had Lloris in goal in 2022. We had Romero, Dyer, and Davis in a back 3. We had Doherty, Perisic, Bentancur, Bissouma, and Højbjerg in midfield. And then we had Kane and Son up front. How wild is that? How wild is that? So the two players that are the same. Well, you have Romero and Bentancur, but Bentancur is obviously out injured. But the only other 2 players that are still in the squad are Bissouma and Davis from 4 years ago. How mad is that? How mad is that? We were playing Doherty in midfield, guys. 3D, yeah, exactly. That's the last time they beat us. Our squad, other than Kane and Son, they had a terrible game that game. Other than Kane and Son, hey, I think we have a better squad today than that. Do you guys not think we have a better squad today than that? I think we have a better squad today than that. But yeah, that's the last time they beat us, 2022. What a crazy squad. How times changed in 4 years. How quick things move. Honestly, so quick. Sarah, just keep on excluding that positive energy, please. Exuding. Oh, exude. Look, I'm always positive. I'm always, you've got to be positive. You've got to be positive. Poor bloke, we are going to stop his haircut. The United Strand, we're coming for you. You're not cutting your hair just yet. Right. Okay. It's almost 5:30. They've got West Ham next game. I don't know what's scarier. They haven't won 5 in 4 years, or that 2022 was 4 years ago. Exactly. And look at that personnel change. Look at that personnel change. The amount of experienced heads that we had in that squad. The amount of experienced heads, guys. Like, you know, you had like a... I mean, I don't want to say Dyer was fantastic, but like he was an experienced head, you know. You have Romero in the squad as well. Actually, all of our players had a terrible game that game. Basuma had a terrible game as well. So did Højbjerg. And we were under Conte. Crazy. In football, you can only beat what's in front of you. 100%. Exactly. Why aren't Vuskovic more and more around to help us, Sarah? They need first team minutes. They need first team minutes. That's why. They need first team minutes more to build up his strength. He needs to play game in, game out. He needs to play game in, game out. I don't think he's ready yet. Potentially, he could even go out on loan for another season, I would say. Look, don't forget, Harry Kane went on loan after loan after loan, and then he came back to Spurs, and his first season was terrible. Everyone was saying that Kane was not a good player. Son, when he came into the squad, everyone was saying he wasn't a good player. He took a year to adapt to the Premier League. These players, they need time to build up their physicality, because look, the German league, the Scottish league, they are nowhere near the Premier League. They need match minutes, first team in and out every single week to even build up to getting into our squad. And Vuskovic, look, he might be one for the future, but right now he's not tried and tested in the Prem, and we've seen it time and time again. You can't put a player like Mikey Moore in there, because you can damage them. You can damage them for the future. You need to protect these players, and you need to build up their strength and their physicality so that they can play consistent first team minutes. And then when you get into Europe again, then they start, and then you have the squad rotation that you need. But to bring them back now, and even in next season, if you're not playing in Europe next season, I think you put more on loan again, because the other option is you bring more back. You've got players on the bench, and then he's never going to get into the team, and then he's not developing. So that's all the side of like the player development, you know. Vuskovic is slightly a bit different, because I think that situation is different. Mikey Moore is homegrown, so it's slightly different, because I think fans have a soft spot for Mikey Moore. We have a soft spot for Vuskovic, but it's not the same. When you have one of your own, like Son, you give them a bit more grace. When it's a player that's come from another league, like Mwani, for example, you know, is Vuskovic going to turn out to be like a Mickey van der Ven? Or is he going to turn out to be like a Mwani? From what we can see, he has a different mindset. So, but I think every player develops at their own pace, and so you have to take it player by player. You know, it could be that Vuskovic comes back if there's a gap in the squad, but maybe Mikey Moore stays out on loan, the same as Lancashire. So it goes by player as well. Yeah, I know. Let's not talk about them. My nephew doesn't know what's good for him. He doesn't know what's good for him. Definitely, I debated earlier. I saw lineup when we lost to Newcastle. It was even worse. Yeah. He's going for a 3-1 win. Kem's going for a 3-1 win. If we're keeping Frank for next season, no European football next season may be a blessing in disguise. Frank will get time to really do some intense training tactics and get to know the players better. Sarah, I got to say I love you. Oh, thanks. I love you guys too. Keep up the good work. Good to see some new Spurs YouTubers. We are quite blessed. Oh, thank you. This has all been a bit of a punt. You know, I'm only here because you guys are here. I picked up the phone, I rang, and you guys answered. So there you go. There you go. Kane was a one-season wonder, according to rival fans. Hey, our fans were saying the same thing. Our fans were saying that Kane was a one-hit wonder, one-season wonder. Our fans were saying that. And in his first year, fans were saying he was terrible and we shouldn't keep him. Yeah, look, this is the same with all young players. They need time. They need time to develop, to, you know, to get the consistency, to get the match minutes. Thing is, Sarah, you say that about Mickey, but when will he be ready? Mickey could have done a job as a number 10 or a... Give him time. Give him time. Ledler. Give him time. Look at Spence. Spence didn't come into the squad until last season. And he was what, 22, 23? You know, you've got to give players time. You can't push them before they're ready because it can damage their future as much. You can't put a date on when he's going to be ready. You know, you build up to it. You build up to it. You get the consistency. You get the confidence. If he can keep scoring for Rangers, if he can build up his confidence, if the fans love him and he feels that and he can, you know, develop in himself and get his own personal confidence up, and then he comes straight back into the team, you know, and then you don't need Tell, you know. So Tell is 3 years ahead of Mikey, I think. So if you look at it like that, Mwani's the older character in the older personnel in that position. But if you get rid of Mwani, let's say, and you've reinforced that, and then in maybe a season or two, you bring in Mikey Moore and then you get rid of Tell. But that's the thing. You need squad planning for each position. You know, you can't bring in Mikey Moore and Tell and Mwani or someone else, because that doesn't, you don't give the players, like, you need 2 good players in each position, basically. If you have an overload and you have bloated squad, then you can't please the players and then they get unsettled and all of that kind of stuff. So Gary Barlow. Is Gary Barlow a United fan? I don't know. Right. Okay, guys, it's past. We've been on for 2 hours, but someone disagrees. The first thing I've disagreed with Sarah about, bring them back and play them now, is in this write-off season. I don't know what benefit that does, though. If you bring them back and you play Mikey Moore instead of Tell, then you're going to end up sending Tell, and Mikey Moore's not going to be as good. Did I just say see you? No, I didn't say that. No, I think they need more time. You don't get time in Glasgow. Yeah, but that's true, but it's less physical than the Prem. It's less physical than the Prem. The Scottish League is probably more like the top half of the Championship, right? Possibly. I mean, potentially better. It's better than being in the Championship, but it's nowhere near the Premier League. So that's how you build as a player. That's how you build it. Thank goodness Adebayor got hurt. We found Kane. Do you know what? The number of times I watched Adebayor play. Oh man. Kane still doesn't get the credit he deserves from non-Spurs fans. Don't worry, Dominic, when we win the World Cup this year, he will do. And when we say we, I mean England, not Spurs, obviously. If we go down to 9 fit outfield players, it may be a moot point. Okay, right. I am going to leave this here. Someone's just said, betting the draw at plus 360, 1-1. In the US, poor teams will treat later parts of the season. It's helpful to gauge where players are at. Cool. No relegation worries. None at all. None at all. Right. Thanks, guys. I just want to give another quick shout out to our newest member, Tut Bulldog. If you're still in the chat, thanks so much. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the COYS Collective. I don't think we got any super chats today, but that's okay. Not that I can see. Thanks. Yes. Yes. So I will tomorrow. I will be back. I'm going to try and escape from the madness tomorrow, and I'm going to try and, depending on the result, give you a little video after that, and then I'll probably do like a proper full debrief on maybe Saturday evening if I get a chance. Bit hectic tomorrow, but if not, it'll be Sunday. And we have some exciting stuff coming up in the next week as well. And I can see you guys are still writing comments. So I will log off for now. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope you all enjoy the game tomorrow, wherever you're going to be watching from. If it is a win, then come back to this post, like it. But yeah, please do like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that jazz, because it definitely helps the channel. I'm going to attempt to re-upload this as a video as well. I don't know how that's going to go, so maybe you'll see this if you've missed bits of it and you want to come back to it. Hopefully it's still going to be working back end. So I'll see you all after the Man United game. Enjoy it, guys, and I'll see you all very soon.